If you're screwed for your microeconomics final exam, this is what you actually got to know about surplus. I'm a tutor. I'm building out this big practice bank of problems that you need to know. And there's a couple of core tenets with surplus that get repeated. For starters here, equilibrium in this market occurs right here at this price. We'll call this P1. I like to first understand consumer surplus if I were one consumer in this market. Let's say my willingness to pay occurs right here. We'll call this P2. In this transaction right here, I would be achieving this vertical distance of consumer surplus. This is like the benefit of the deal that I'm receiving by buying this good. I would have paid this price, but I'm able to pay this price. It's kind of like you're willing to pay $5K for a new car, but the dealership offers it to you for $3K. You'd receive $2K of consumer surplus in that deal. But when we look at that for the entire market, it's the area of this entire triangle right here. Because all different consumers lie at different points on the demand curve. And when we sum all their individual transactions, all the surplus that occurs, we get the area of this triangle here. We can do the same exact thing with producers. Just imagine that you're on the supply curve right here. This is your willingness to sell, we'll call it P3, as a seller in this market. So the lowest you'd go to sell this price is this price right here, but actually, in fact, this market's operating at P1, and you're receiving this vertical distance of producer surplus. It's kind of like you run a lemonade stand and you would have sold a cup at $3, but the market's going to accept $5. So you're going to go, okay, cool, I'll get $2 of producer surplus. But when we consider the entire market with all producers, their producer surplus is this green triangle right here. Because remember, all producers lie along the supply curve. And when we add up all of their individual transactions with surplus, we get the area of this triangle. Now listen, whenever something happens in the market that restricts quantity, surplus cannot extend beyond that quantity. For example, let's say the government institutes a tax, we'll call this S tax. Now this market is not going to produce beyond this point, we'll call it Q1. See where at this quantity we hit the old supply and demand curves. That's how we find the new consumer and producer surplus. So we'd say, so consumer would occur right here and producer would occur down here. In the case of this problem right here, this rectangle right here is tax revenue, and this right here is deadweight loss. Deadweight loss is in loss in surplus that occurred from us restricting or moving back our quantity from Q2 to Q1. These units are not being sold, so this surplus that we used to achieve is lost. It's deadweight loss as a result of this tax. All right, if you like the way I explain microeconomics, go check out my website. I've put everything on there that I'd tutor you on. It's got free concept breakdowns as well as a practice problem bank of like the must-know problems that if I were your tutor, I'd make sure you know before heading into your exam.